They didn't disappear, they stepped away. Military service doesn't pause a career, it removes the noise around it. Fame fades, image softens, only what's real remains. In 2026, these actors don't return to restart anything. They return because something survived the silence. Not louder, not faster, just heavier. This is not a comeback series, it's a continuation. Lee Do-hyun, talent that survived the silence. Lee Do-hyun never relied on noise. Before enlistment, he was already known for range, not image, not trend, but control. Then he stepped away. Quietly, the military didn't interrupt his momentum. It tested whether it was real. It was. Discharged in 2025, Lee Do-hyun doesn't return chasing attention. He returns with credibility intact. What changes in 2026 isn't his skill, it's his weight. Less urgency, more restraint. Emotion that doesn't ask to be noticed. Insiders describe his post-service presence as dangerously calm. Not colder, just steadier. Lee Do-hyun's comeback won't announce itself. It will settle in slowly. And stay. Song Kang. Fame, stripped down. Song Kang became visible fast. Too fast. Global attention, viral roles, a face audiences recognized before they understood. Then came enlistment. The military didn't erase his fame, it removed the noise around it. Discharged in late 2025, his 2026 return isn't about being everywhere, it's about being believable. Less romance built on fantasy. More tension built on consequence. His presence now feels quieter, not weaker, contained. The smile remains, but it no longer explains him. Song Kang doesn't return as a symbol, he returns as a question. An Hyo-sep, beauty with a fault line. An Hyo-sep always looked complete, too complete. Tall, clean, controlled, a leading man by design. What the military added wasn't masculinity, it was fracture. Distance from the spotlight slowed him down, slowness revealed tension. In 2026, his return centers on contradiction. Charm as defense, silence as threat, romance without safety. Those close to early production describe him as uncomfortably calm. The smile is still there, but it hides pressure. An Hyo-sep won't surprise the eye, he'll unsettle the feeling. Park Ji-hoon, violence contained. Park Ji-hoon learned early that intensity is dangerous when it isn't controlled. Before enlistment, his roles hinted at volatility, anger held just beneath calm. The military didn't sharpen that edge, it disciplined it. Silence taught restraint, routine taught patience. In 2026, his return isn't explosive, it's measured. The threat doesn't come from what he does, but from how long he waits. Park Ji-hoon doesn't play chaos anymore. He plays control on the verge of failure. Ong Sung-woo, softness relearned. Ong Sung-woo was never loud. Before enlistment, his strength came from softness, gentle timing, quiet sincerity, emotions that arrived early. The military took that away, not to harden him, but to test whether it could survive structure. It did. But it changed shape. In 2026, he doesn't lean into warmth, he withholds it. Kindness now feels earned. Silence feels intentional. Ong Sung-woo doesn't return sweeter, he returns selective. Seo Kang-joon, silence is reset. Seo Kang-joon was known for presence, eyes that spoke first, emotion that arrived without effort. Then he disappeared. The military didn't sharpen him, it emptied him, and emptiness became space. When he returns, there's less urgency in his movement, less need to be seen. In 2026, Seo Kang-joon doesn't chase momentum, he rebuilds it, slowly. Silence isn't absence anymore, it's intention. Kang Tae-oh, warmth, relearned. Kang Tae-oh became unforgettable through warmth. A smile that disarmed, kindness that felt safe. The military challenged that image, routine dulled the instinct to please. Distance cooled familiarity. What returns isn't less warmth, it's selective warmth. In 2026, his characters don't comfort immediately, they hesitate. Affection now carries effort, and effort makes it real. Kang Tae-oh doesn't lose his softness, he earns it. Jung Hae-in, maturity without apology. Jung Hae-in has nothing left to prove. Before and after service, his strength stayed consistent. Discipline, control, emotional precision. What changes now isn't skill, it's permission. Permission to slow down, to choose weight over charm. In 2026, Jung Hae-in doesn't adjust to trends. Trends adjust around him. He doesn't return louder, he returns settled. And settled men don't fade easily. Yoo Seon-ho, youth that didn't survive intact. Yoo Seon-ho entered the industry early, too early to stay untouched. For years he carried youth, gentle roles, soft emotions, innocence as identity. Then came the military. Not loud, not dramatic, just final. Distance erased the safety of being young. What returned was quieter, heavier. In 2026, Yoo Sun-ho doesn't come back as a boy actor growing up. He comes back as someone who already has. The softness remains. But it's no longer naive, it's cautious. Hwang Min-in, stillness as power. Hwang Min-in was once defined by elegance, grace, precision, distance. The military stripped away performance. What remained was stillness, not empty, intentional. Discharged at the end of 2025, his 2026 return leans away from fantasy toward consequence. He no longer fills space, he holds it. Emotion doesn't spill, it accumulates. Hwang Min-in's power now isn't in expression, it's in restraint. And restraint is harder to look away from. Kim Yo-han energy, redirected. Kim Yo-han always moved forward fast. Athletic presence, direct emotion, a body that carried the role before the lines did. The military interrupted that momentum. Routine replaced instinct. Control replaced speed. What comes back in 2026 isn't less energy, it's redirected energy. He no longer rushes scenes, he presses into them. Strength now feels deliberate, not reactive. Kim Yo-han's shift isn't dramatic, it's structural. Kim Min-jae, familiar, reweighted. Kim Min-jae was always reliable. Romance, comfort, a presence audiences trusted without questioning. The military didn't erase that familiarity, it reweighted it. Time away stripped the ease from his expressions. What returned was gravity. In 2026, his roles don't reassure, they linger. Emotion doesn't bloom quickly anymore, it settles late. Kim Min-jae still feels familiar, but familiarity now comes with tension. Kim Soo-hyun, precision without reinvention. Kim Soo-hyun is often framed as an actor who returned stronger after military service. This is inaccurate. He returned unchanged. Before enlistment, his work was defined by precision, tight emotional control, careful timing, and restraint. Military service did not introduce discipline. It confirmed it. Unlike actors who rely on reinvention, Kim Soo-hyun relies on structure. His performances do not chase intensity. They calibrate it. After service, his acting grows quieter, not louder. Emotion arrives later. Intensity is reduced, not escalated. This creates stability rather than spectacle. His career does not spike dramatically. It plateaus, and plateaus last. The military did not reshape his foundation because it did not need reshaping. That is why his post-service career feels calm, controlled, and consistent. Kim Soo-hyun survives interruption not by adapting but by remaining aligned with what already worked. Park Seo-joon, charisma under restraint. Park Seo-joon's career was built on certainty. Before enlistment, his charisma moved scenes forward effortlessly. Confidence came naturally. Authority needed no explanation. Military service interrupted that ease. For the first time, there was no feedback, no applause, no reaction, no validation. This absence did not weaken him. It introduced restraint. After service, his presence changes subtly but decisively. Charisma no longer pushes outward, it holds space. Confidence becomes quieter, authority becomes still. He no longer needs to be immediately likable or dominant. He allows scenes to settle around him. This shift matters. Charisma without restraint burns quickly. Charisma that learns containment gains gravity. Park Seo-joon does not lose star power after service, he compresses it. The energy remains, but it is controlled, measured, and durable. Military life did not give him masculinity or seriousness, it removed excess. What returns is a leading man who does not chase attention, he anchors it. Seo In-guk, endurance without illusion. Seo In-guk has never fit into a clean success narrative. Even before military service, his career moved in starts and stops. Momentum arrived quickly, but it was never stable. His performances often carried fatigue, doubt, and emotional looseness, elements most actors try to hide. Military service did not reinvent him. It simply added another interruption. For actors who rely on rhythm, interruption is dangerous. For Seo In-guk, interruption is familiar. What emerges after service is not polish, but endurance. His acting remains exposed. Emotions do not resolve neatly. Characters feel incomplete, sometimes uncomfortable. He allows weakness to stay visible instead of shaping it into inspiration. Post-service, his presence feels less controlled, not more. Where others tighten discipline, he leans into honesty. Fatigue remains on screen. Confusion is not corrected. The military did not discipline Seo In-guk into order. It stripped away momentum and left him with what he always relied on, the ability to continue without illusion. He does not dominate scenes, he survives them. That survival is quiet, uneven, and deeply human. and it is precisely why his career endures.